Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. We have been reporting on two high-profile state of Idaho criminal cases. Idaho versus Kohberger, which we have been performing presentations on for quite a while. And we recently added a second case entitled Idaho versus Wondra. Both cases were extremely sad. Kohberger's case is, of course, closed due to the fact that he pled guilty on July 2nd, 2025, to all 5 of the criminal charges that he was indicted on back in May of 2023. The Wondra case is at its early stages right now. A preliminary hearing is scheduled to occur on December 16th, 2025. The issue of could a party who has pled guilty attempt to set aside a sentence, seek some sort of relief. Now, there has been some talk, some discussion, opinions that perhaps this is something that Mr. Kohberger might do in future. Mr. Wondra has filed challenges. Mr. Wondra was convicted on a federal charge and he was imprisoned in a federal prison. If you look at the court records in Idaho versus Wondra, you will see that Mr. Wondra has already filed a petition for habeas corpus, and he's put some demands prior to the time that he was returned to Idaho regarding his extradition. Relative to the federal charge that he was arrested for, that he pled guilty to in the matter styled as U.S. versus Wondra, Mr. Wondra filed a petition to vacate or set aside or correct his sentence. And he cites to 28 U.S.C. section 2255. This is different from the cases, from the filings in both Kohberger and Wondra, which had cited to Idaho state law. But certainly in Mr. Kohberger's case, there were a lot of filings that cited to the United States Constitution, including the Sixth Amendment, and more times than any other amendment to the U.S. Constitution, Mr. Kohberger cited to the 14th Amendment Due Process Clause that says when an individual is arrested, that he is entitled or she is entitled to due process of law, which requires 3 things: notice, an opportunity to be heard, and one of the most important features that our judicial system offers or should offer is impartiality. Not to have a biased jury, not to have a biased judge, but a judge that is impartial and a jury that's impartial. The statute that Mr. Wondra is citing to here, 2255, in a nutshell, it deals with when a prisoner is in custody under a sentence of a court dealing with any act of Congress. That would be a statute, for example, claiming to have a right to be released due to a violation of the Constitution or laws of the United States. You can look up what that statute says by doing a simple search on your computer and read it. But that's basically the gist. He's feeling that he was improperly sentenced in violation of a law or the Constitution, an amendment to the Constitution. The court here, in the memorandum and decision order, says that pending before this court is Stacy James Wondra's motion to vacate, set aside, or correct the sentence pursuant to 28 U.S.C. 2255, that's United States Code. And then it cites to where that particular filing, it's docket item number 1 on the court docket. Wondra is procedurally barred from proceeding in this matter. Accordingly, Wondra's petition is summarily dismissed and the civil case is closed. And you see here that this is in the United States District Court for the District of Idaho. Same location where Schofield versus Guillard, another case that we've been reporting on, is pending and will go to trial. U.S. District Court for the District of Idaho. Difference is Schofield versus Guillard is a civil case. It's an action for defamation. The case against Wondra is federal criminal. Now the court goes into the background. On August 5th, 2024, Wondra filed a motion under 28 United States Code 2255 challenging his conviction on the grounds an unnamed Supreme Court opinion rendered the statute unconstitutional under the Second Amendment. The court opened a corresponding civil case, see Wondra versus U.S., and there's the case number. The government moved to dismiss the petition, that's the U.S. government, citing, and then we go on to page 2, collateral attack waiver contained in the plea agreement. On November 11, 2024, the court granted the government's motion and dismissed the petition. So we see here that, like Mr. Kohberger, Mr. Wondra did not stand trial, did not appeal. He filed a second Section 2255, that's USC Section 2255 motion. In his current motion, Wondra again challenges the constitutionality of his conviction on Second Amendment grounds, citing a Ninth Circuit decision issued by a 3-panel judge in U.S. versus Duarte. Now, why they're citing to the Ninth Circuit is that is the U.S. Appellate Court over the District of Idaho. So any appeals from in U.S. in federal court, district court in Idaho would go to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeal. The 3-judge panel decision, however, has since been vacated and reheard en banc. The U.S. versus Duarte. The en banc panel in Duarte upheld the constitutionality of, and that's the statute. This would be Duarte 2. So basically what happened here is when there's a petition that's filed in an appellate court, they usually have not the entire panel. If there's 9 judges, let's say, on the Ninth Circuit, it would be assigned to a 3-judge panel. And the 3-judge panel enters a ruling. And here it looked like it would be favorable to Mr. Wondra, this first ruling. But it appears probably what happened is the government appealed, or someone asked for the entire en banc, every judge that sits in the Ninth Circuit, to rehear this matter. And then we see that the first that he brought his petition under, that was basically set aside. That this section provides that such a motion cannot be considered unless it first has been certified by the Court of Appeals to contain either, number 1, newly discovered evidence that, if proven and viewed in the light of the evidence as a whole, would be sufficient to establish by clear and convincing evidence that no reasonable fact finder would have found the movement guilty of the offense. So here we see a standard in federal court where a person could possibly get relief if there's some new evidence that was discovered. In this case, he pled guilty. The court's not saying here, hey, this doesn't apply to him because he pled guilty. Saying, look, if the person can cite to some newly discovered evidence that's certified by the appellate court, that might get the party in the door. That no reasonable fact finder would have found the movement guilty of the offense. Or, second grounds, a new rule of constitutional law made retroactive to cases on collateral review by the Supreme Court that was previously unavailable. Here's the order, here's the finding. It is hereby ordered that number one, Stacy J. Wondra motion to vacate, set aside, or correct a sentence is denied. The clerk is instructed to close the civil case. Wondra versus U.S. Case numbers given there. And then we see this is dated July 1st, 2025. The judge's name appears at the bottom, United States District Court Judge. Everything that we give here, we state, is opinion. It's not fact. It's basically speculation, our thoughts, and giving an opinion as we do under the United States Constitution. If you have any thoughts, any opinions, any comments that you would like to share, please leave them here. Until next time, this is Kathy. Thank you for joining us here today.